The lights dimmed, the cameras weren't even rolling yet. But the world was already watching, and what they saw was nothing short of heartbreaking. Karlissa, hands trembling, eyes swollen with tears, clasped them together in a desperate prayer for her grandson's life. Beside her, Chrisean Rock's voice cracked as she begged God for a miracle. Her pain, raw, unfiltered, and terrifyingly real. What was supposed to be a quiet moment of faith quickly spiraled into a living drama the entire internet couldn't look away from, because these weren't just prayers whispered in silence. They were cries screamed into the chaos of flashing lights, live streams, and viral clips. Fans swore they saw Karlissa collapse mid-sentence, while Chrisean's desperate sobs echoed like a warning of something darker lurking beneath the surface. And here's where it gets even messier. Insiders claim those prayers weren't just about health or healing. They were fueled by family betrayals, private arguments, and ugly truths that are only now spilling out for the world to see. What started as a mother and daughter praying side by side has turned into a spectacle of accusations, breakdowns, and secrets that could tear them apart forever. But what exactly happened during those desperate prayers? Why did the moment of faith turn into a battlefield of emotions? And what hidden truths are ready to explode into the open? Stay locked in, because the next chapter in this saga is darker, louder, and more shocking than anyone could have prepared. For not to understand why Karlissa and Chrisean Rock's desperate prayers spiraled into chaos, you have to rewind the story back to the tangled, painful relationship between mother and daughter. Built on love, betrayal, and constant public meltdowns, Karlissa, the outspoken matriarch who never minces her words, has long lived under the glare of controversy. Her online outbursts, raw live streams, and unapologetic opinions have made her both hated and respected. To some, she's a mother who speaks her truth no matter how ugly. To others, she's the very reason her family keeps falling apart. And then there's Chrisean Rock, the fiery, unpredictable, emotional young star whose rise to fame has been as turbulent as it's been meteoric. Known for her music, her reality TV appearances, and her never-ending roller coaster with Blueface, Chrisean has built a brand around being unfiltered. She cries when she hurts, she screams when she's betrayed, and she fights harder than anyone when pushed. But beneath the fame, her personal battles with trust, loyalty, and mental health have often played out publicly, leaving her vulnerable to judgment and gossip. The tension between Karlissa and Chrisean hasn't been a secret. For years, fans have witnessed their rocky relationship, Karlissa accusing Chrisean of making reckless choices, Chrisean accusing Karlissa of being controlling and unsupportive. Their fights have gone live on Instagram, their arguments have trended on Twitter, and their private family business has constantly been laid bare for the world to consume. So when the two of them appeared side by side in prayer, fans thought, for just a moment, that maybe, finally, the family had found common ground. The sight of Karlissa clutching her hands and bowing her head while Chrisean knelt beside her was powerful. For once, they weren't screaming. For once, they weren't throwing blame. For once, they were united by something bigger than both of them, fear. But this wasn't just about faith. It wasn't just about asking for help from above. Insiders close to the family revealed that the prayers were sparked by something deeply personal and terrifying, a health scare involving Chrisean's baby. The moment news broke that the child was rushed to the hospital, everything changed. Cameras clicked, fans speculated. And suddenly Karlissa and Chrisean were forced into the same room, facing the same nightmare. That's where the prayers began. At first, quiet, heartfelt, Karlissa whispering through tears, Chrisean clutching her chest and begging for mercy. But what happened next stunned everyone. As the prayers grew louder, so did the emotions. Karlissa's voice broke into accusations, muttering about sins, catching up, and bad choices bringing curses. Chrisean snapped back, her sobs turning into shouts. "This ain't about me, mama. Stop blaming me for everything." What was meant to be a moment of unity twisted into yet another family feud, only this time it happened in front of flashing cameras and thousands of viewers online. Fans watching the leaked clips described it as heartbreaking, surreal, and uncomfortable. One moment, Karlissa was begging God to save her grandson. The next, she was pointing fingers at her daughter. Chrisean, already overwhelmed with fear for her child, screamed through tears that her mother cared more about appearances than about healing. The internet pounced immediately. TikTok edits of the prayer fight began trending under captions. Like even God couldn't stop the drama. Twitter threads exploded with fans debating who was right, who was wrong, and whether this family was cursed to forever turn tragedy into spectacle. But behind the noise was a truth even darker. According to an alleged insider, those prayers revealed cracks in the family far deeper than anyone imagined. Because while Karlissa prayed for the baby, she also muttered about other truths that had been hidden. Secrets, she claimed. Chrisean was still keeping. That's when fans began speculating. Were these prayers really about faith? Or about exposing skeletons that Karlissa had been waiting to drag into the light? The moment was no longer private. It was no longer sacred. It had become a public battlefield. And in that battlefield, Karlissa and Chrisean weren't just mother and daughter anymore. They were two forces locked in a fight for control of the narrative. And just when it seemed like the situation couldn't spiral any further, the first twist hit, one that turned desperate prayers into the opening act of an even bigger drama. The prayers had barely begun before the atmosphere shifted from desperation to destruction. What was supposed to be a sacred moment turned into a family meltdown broadcast straight into the public eye at first. Karlissa's voice trembled with sincerity as she prayed, "Lord, touch this baby, give him life. Don't let the devil steal him from us." Her hands clutched tightly together, tears streaking her cheeks. For a brief second, the internet saw a softer side of the woman, often branded as combative. But then her tone shifted. Her voice cracked with anger, almost as if her prayers weren't directed at God anymore, but at her own daughter. Eyewitnesses claim, Karlissa muttered under her breath, "This wouldn't have happened if you made better choices, Chrisean." That one line shattered the fragile peace. Chrisean, already kneeling and sobbing, snapped her head up. Her tears turned into fury. "Mama, this ain't the time for you to throw shade at me. My baby fighting for his life, and you worried about pointing fingers?" The room fell silent for a beat until Karlissa shot back, "I'm pointing at the truth. You think God don't see the way you've been living? You think this ain't punishment?" Boom. Just like that, the moment of faith became a war zone. The cameras, still rolling, caught everything. Clips began leaking online within minutes. Fans watched in disbelief as Karlissa, hands still pressed together in prayer, hurled accusations, while Chrisean, face streaked with mascara and tears, screamed back in agony. What should have been private became viral. A prayer turned into a fight that trended under the hashtag prayer drama by midnight. Twitter threads dissected every second. TikTok creators slowed down Chrisean's screams, overlaying captions like "Her pain is real, but so is the anger." Instagram pages blasted headlines. Karlissa turns prayer into blame game while Chrisean collapses in tears. But that wasn't the most shocking part. An insider leak claimed that during the heated exchange, Karlissa blurted out something that stunned even those in the room. "You know this baby's sickness is tied to the lies you've been telling." The words sent the internet into chaos. Lies? What lies? Was Karlissa suggesting Chrisean had been hiding something about the baby's health? Or was this another one of her infamous digs meant to wound her daughter at her most vulnerable moment? Nobody knew, but the speculation was instant and savage. One viral TikTok with 2.3 million views put it bluntly. Karlissa basically accused her own daughter of causing the baby's condition. "This ain't prayer. It's a public crucifixion." And Chrisean's reaction only fueled the fire. Eyewitnesses said she leaped up, pointing at her mother with trembling hands, screaming, "Don't you dare put that on me. Don't you dare, Mama. You've been against me from the start, and now you want to act like my pain is my fault?" Her breakdown was so intense that security reportedly rushed in, trying to calm the scene. But the cameras didn't stop rolling, and within hours, the footage was everywhere. Fans were split. Some sympathized with Chrisean, saying she was a young mother overwhelmed by tragedy. Others defended Karlissa, arguing she was speaking hard truths no one else would say. The family's raw pain had become public entertainment, and the world couldn't look away. But the first major twist hit just as the arguments reached fever pitch. A gossip blog dropped a bombshell. A leaked audio recording allegedly captured from the same prayer session. In it, Karlissa's voice could be heard saying, "I begged her not to keep this child, but she wouldn't listen. Now look." The audio spread like wildfire. Fans gasped at the implication. Had Karlissa admitted she told Chrisean not to have the baby? Was she suggesting this tragedy was proof she had been right all along? The backlash was instant. Supporters of Chrisean dragged Karlissa online, calling her cold-hearted and evil for turning prayer into an attack. One tweet, with 50,000 likes, read, "Imagine blaming your daughter's sick baby on her choices instead of praying for healing. Karlissa needs help." But others claimed the audio was taken out of context. Some insisted Karlissa's words were being twisted, that she was speaking about the stress Chrisean had endured, not condemning her. The debate raged for hours. And then another twist deepened the chaos. Chrisean herself went live on Instagram, visibly shaken, holding back sobs. In a trembling voice, she addressed the leaks. "Y'all heard my mama. Y'all saw what she did. She's supposed to pray with me, not against me. But even in my darkest moment, she turned it into a show." Her live broadcast pulled over 400,000 viewers in less than 10 minutes. Fans flooded the comments with prayers, heart emojis, and anger at Karlissa. But the most haunting part came at the end, when Chrisean, her voice breaking, whispered, "If my baby don't make it, I'll never forgive her." That line detonated across the internet like dynamite. Headlines screamed, "Chrisean blames her mother for baby struggles." Twitter erupted with sympathy, rage, and conspiracy theories. But behind the heartbreak, there were whispers of something even darker. Insiders close to the family claimed Karlissa wasn't finished. They alleged she had more to say and more truths she planned to expose. And that's where the cliffhanger loomed. Because if Karlissa really did have secrets about Chrisean and her baby, and if she was willing to drop them publicly, then the desperate prayers were only the beginning of a living drama that could tear the family apart forever. The world was still reeling from the leaked audio of Karlissa's harsh words when the scandal took an even darker turn. What began as desperate prayers for a child's survival had now spiraled into a vicious spectacle where every whisper, every tear, every accusation was weaponized for the internet by morning. Hashtag prayer drama had morphed into hashtag Karlissa Chrisean, with millions of tweets dissecting the fight. On TikTok, edits of Chrisean's tear-streaked face went viral under captions like she just wanted prayers, but got betrayal instead. Meanwhile, clips of Karlissa wagging her finger during the prayer session were captioned, "When your mama's sermon turns into a courtroom." But then came the reveal that no one expected. A second leaked clip surfaced, not audio this time, but video. It showed Karlissa storming out of the prayer circle, muttering under her breath while someone secretly recorded her. The words were faint but chilling. "If she won't admit the truth about that baby's father, maybe God will." The internet exploded. Wait, what truth? What was Karlissa implying about the baby's paternity? Fans flooded the comments with theories. Was Karlissa suggesting the baby wasn't Blueface's? Was she hinting at a secret relationship Chrisean had kept hidden? Or was this just another cruel jab from a mother known for saying the unthinkable? Theories piled up like wildfire. Some fans insisted they'd seen receipts months ago, hinting at a different father. Others accused Karlissa of spreading lies to deflect from her own guilt. But one thing was undeniable. The leaked video took the family drama to a whole new level. Chrisean, already broken, clapped back on Instagram Live again. This time visibly furious. Shaking with tears streaming, she screamed into the camera, "Mama, you really want to play me like this? You're really gonna stand there while my baby fighting for his life and talk about who his daddy is? You evil, you don't love me, you never did." Her words cut deep, and the Live pulled in 500,000 viewers in minutes. Fans spammed the comments with, "Stay strong, Chrisean. Karlissa crossed the line." But the most chilling moment came when Chrisean whispered through sobs, "If I lose my son, you'll lose me too." That statement shattered hearts worldwide. Fans posted tearful reaction videos, celebrities tweeted prayers, and the internet turned into a battlefield of sympathy for Chrisean and outrage at Karlissa. But Karlissa wasn't backing down. Hours later, she went live on her own page, defiantly declaring, "Y'all can cancel me, drag me, hate me, I don't care. I spoke the truth. God don't bless mess, and I refuse to sit here and pretend my daughter's life choices didn't lead us here." The live was a disaster. Thousands of angry fans flooded her comments, calling her toxic, heartless, and the reason her family is broken. But Karlissa doubled down, even hinting she had documents and receipts that would prove she wasn't lying about the baby's paternity. And just like that, the prayer drama transformed into a full-blown paternity scandal. The gossip blogs pounced. One headline screamed, "Karlissa hints Chrisean's baby might not be blue faces. Family chaos reaches breaking point." Another teased, "Receipts coming. Karlissa promises to expose truth about baby daddy." Social media went nuclear. Supporters of Chrisean rushed to her defense, saying Karlissa was spreading lies to hurt her own daughter. Others speculated Karlissa might have proof. The debates were savage. If she got receipts, she needs to show them. Otherwise, she's just evil. Chrisean doesn't deserve this. Not while she's already fighting for her baby's life. What if Karlissa is telling the truth? What then? But the most devastating blow came when a mysterious account posted a blurred image of what it claimed was a DNA report. The name was redacted, the details obscured, but the caption read, "The truth always comes out." Fans went berserk. Was this Karlissa's doing? Was someone else leaking on her behalf? Or was it another troll trying to exploit the chaos? Nobody knew for sure, but the damage was immediate. Chrisean fired back in an emotional post. "I don't care what lies y'all spread. I know who my son's father is. I won't let nobody, not even my mama, take that away from me." The internet took sides once again. TikTok trends split into two camps. #PrayForChrisean versus #Karlissa was right. Twitter spaces filled with thousands of listeners debating the authenticity of the leaked DNA image. And then came the twist that left everyone speechless. According to a leaked text exchange circulating on blogs, Karlissa allegedly messaged a close friend during the drama, "This is the only way she'll finally admit it. If she won't be honest, I'll force her to." The screenshot, real or fake, painted Karlissa not as a grieving grandmother, but as a mother bent on exposing her daughter at any cost, even if it meant destroying her during her most vulnerable moment. The cliffhanger was brutal. Was Karlissa bluffing about having receipts? Was the DNA leak real? And if the truth about the baby's father really did come out, what would it mean for Chrisean, her child? And the family's already broken. Bond? One thing was clear. The desperate prayers had spiraled into a storm of betrayal, secrets, and accusations that showed no signs of slowing down. And the next revelation? It promised to blow everything wide open. The internet didn't just talk about it, it erupted. Within hours, Karlissa and Chrisean's private moment of prayer had become a global trending topic. Hashtag prayer drama, hashtag Karlissa Chrisean, and hashtag baby truth all trended simultaneously, pulling in millions of tweets, reposts, and stitches. The spectacle wasn't just family business anymore. It was everybody's business. Twitter was a battlefield. One side defended Chrisean fiercely. She's already fighting for her baby's life. Imagine your mama dragging you instead of holding you. This isn't tough love. This is abuse in prayer's clothing. The other side, though, shockingly sided with Karlissa. Sometimes moms tell hard truths. Maybe Karlissa sees what Chrisean refuses to admit. Everyone hates her now, but what if she's right about the baby? Then what? The division wasn't just online chatter, it turned into war. Hashtag campaigns sprouted overnight. Hashtag Pray for Chrisean was filled with tearful fan videos begging for peace. While hashtag Karlissa was right included conspiracy threads, alleged receipts, and breakdowns of the leaked DNA image. On TikTok, the drama became performance art. Creators reenacted the prayer scene, mimicking Karlissa's accusatory tone and Chrisean's desperate screams. Others edited slow-motion clips of Chrisean crying, set to gospel music with captions like, "All she wanted was a prayer." The videos pulled millions of views, solidifying this scandal as more than gossip. It was content fuel. Celebrities couldn't resist chiming in. Cardi B, who's no stranger to public family drama, tweeted, "There's a time to be a mother, and a time to be quiet. That prayer wasn't it." Summer Walker posted an Instagram story, "Man, some things you just don't do to your kids in public. I feel bad for Chrisean, but not everyone backed her." Funk Flex posted on Hot 97, "Karlissa might be wild, but I don't think she's lying. Blueface ain't never been a saint. Y'all acting brand new." Even gospel figures weighed in. A well-known pastor tweeted, "Prayer is not the place. For accusations, God don't honor confusion." Meanwhile, the blogs had a field day. The Shade Room posted a split screen of Karlissa and Chrisean mid-prayer, captioned, "When faith turns into family feud." Hollywood Unlocked followed up with DNA receipts coming. Karlissa hints she has proof. Each post racked up hundreds of thousands of comments, mostly from fans taking sides or begging for the full story. But the wildest reactions came from Blueface himself. Just when fans thought he'd stay quiet, he jumped on Twitter with a now-deleted post. "Y'all know damn well that's my kid. Don't let clout chasing fool you." Screenshots of the tweet went viral before he deleted it. But the damage was done. His statement only deepened the debate. If he was so sure, why delete it? Was he hiding something? Or was he just tired of the circus? The drama even spilled into real life. Paparazzi spotted fans outside of Los Angeles. Hospital holding signs, some reading prayers for baby J, while others read "Truth will set you free." The images went viral, proving this wasn't just an online spectacle anymore. It was a real-life protest of faith versus family dysfunction. Meanwhile, news outlets framed the story through their own lenses. TMZ ran the headline, "Karlissa and Chrisean Rock's prayer session turns into family brawl." Daily Mail splashed, "Mother accuses daughter during baby's health scare. Chaos caught on tape." And local news in Baltimore even reported on the scandal, highlighting the growing divide in the family. But the most jaw-dropping reactions came from fans digging deeper. Twitter detectives resurfaced old interviews where Karlissa hinted she never trusted the situation around that baby. Others dug up Instagram comments she left months ago, where she accused Chrisean of hiding truths. Suddenly, her leaked prayer accusations didn't feel random. They felt like the culmination of months of suspicion. Still, the backlash was merciless. Chrisean supporters flooded Karlissa's accounts with snake emojis and angry comments. "You're canceled. This is why your family is broken. No mother should ever drag her daughter like this." And yet, through all the chaos, Karlissa remained defiant. She posted a cryptic message on her Instagram story. The truth don't need defending. Y'all will see soon enough. That single line reignited the fire. Fans begged her to explain. Supporters cheered. Haters dragged her harder. But one thing was clear: Karlissa wasn't backing down. And the world wasn't letting go. The reactions had turned the family's personal crisis into a global event. Everyone was invested, everyone had an opinion, and everyone was waiting for the next shoe to drop. And then, right when the drama seemed unbearable, whispers of an even darker revelation began spreading. A gossip page teased the real father might finally be revealed. Receipts coming tomorrow. The internet froze. Was this it? The final reveal? Or just another setup for heartbreak? Nobody knew. But everyone was bracing themselves for the twist that could end this family saga once and for all. The family drama had already swallowed the internet whole, but the darkest twist was still waiting in the shadows. Late at night, when fans thought the storm might finally calm, a new leak dropped. This time, it wasn't audio. It wasn't video. It was a blurry document, stamped with a clinic's watermark, claiming to be a DNA test. The names were partially redacted, but the headline was clear. Probability of paternity. She went live, her face streaked with tears, but her tone pure fire. Y'all believe anything? My baby's father is Blueface, period. I don't care what paper you saw. That's my truth, and I'll stand on it until the day I die. Y'all can't break me. Her words drew a flood of support in the comments, fans sending love, hearts, and prayers. But others remained skeptical, saying if she was so sure, why so defensive? And then Karlissa struck again, posting a cryptic Instagram video. She smirked into the camera and said, "I told you the truth was coming, and this is only the beginning." That one sentence poured gasoline on the fire. Fans were torn apart. Was Karlissa orchestrating the leaks? Did she have more documents ready to drop? Or was she simply riding the chaos for attention? But the most terrifying twist came just as the internet thought they'd seen everything. An anonymous Twitter account posted a chilling message. You think it's just about the baby? You think this is only about paternity? Watch closely. There are bigger secrets tied to this family, and tomorrow the world will know. Attached was a grainy clip of Karlissa on the phone, pacing in a dimly lit room, though muffled. Her words sent shivers down spines. If she won't confess, I'll make sure the world drags her until she does. The implication was devastating. This wasn't just a feud between mother and daughter. This was a war of destruction, and Karlissa seemed ready to sacrifice her own child's reputation in the process. Fans couldn't handle it. Twitter exploded with conspiracy threads about hidden fathers, secret affairs, and old family grudges. TikTok edits layered Karlissa's phone call over ominous music, captioned, "She doesn't want truth. She wants revenge." Even celebrities chimed back in. Cardi B tweeted again, blunt as ever, "That's not prayer, that's punishment." And gospel singers began distancing themselves from Karlissa, saying publicly, "This isn't God's work, this is chaos." The lines were fully drawn. Team Chrisean versus Team Karlissa had become one of the most polarizing debates of the year. And caught in the middle was a baby whose future was now overshadowed by viral scandal. But here's the brutal cliffhanger. Insiders whisper that there's another DNA test. A second document Karlissa hasn't released yet, and this one might reveal something even more shocking. Some say it names another man entirely. Others claim it proves the first leak was fake. Nobody knows for sure. All the internet knows is this: the next leak, whether real or fake, could destroy everything. Chrisean's career, Karlissa's credibility, and even the fragile hope that this family might ever heal. And as the anonymous account promised, tomorrow it ends. Or maybe tomorrow it only gets worse. And that's where we leave this chaotic saga for now. A prayer that started in desperation, twisted into accusation, and exploded into one of the most dramatic family feuds the internet has ever seen. Karlissa turning faith into fire. Chrisean, broken and furious, defending herself and her baby. And the entire world caught in the middle of a DNA storm that could change everything. But here's the truth. The story isn't over. It's not even close. We're standing on the edge of what might be the most explosive reveal yet. An anonymous account swears a new leak is coming. Karlissa hints she has more documents. And Chrisean herself has vowed she'd fight anyone, even her own mother, to protect her child. So the question is, who's telling the truth? Who's lying? And who will survive when the next bombshell drops? Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Karlissa really has the receipts? Or is she manipulating the moment to control the narrative? Do you think Chrisean is being unfairly attacked during her darkest hour? Or is there a secret she hasn't admitted yet? And the biggest question of all, when the truth finally comes out, will this family ever recover, or will this drama destroy them forever? Drop your answers in the comments right now and don't hold back. Are you Team Chrisean or Team Karlissa? Or do you think they're both hiding something? One thing is certain. The next chapter will be even darker, even louder, and even more shocking. You don't want to miss it. So smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and stay locked in. Because when the next leak hits, it won't just shake the internet, it could end this family's bond forever. This isn't the end. It's just the calm before the next storm.